aircraft from scratch, the Army turned to the Navy's Douglas SBD Dauntless and Curtiss SB-2C Helldiver to fill this need. In late 1940, agreement was reached for the Army to get approximately 100 SB-2Cs from Curtiss under the recently signed Navy contract. These planes were referred to as SB-2C-1A for contract purposes, but were designated A-25A by the Army. A-25A was to be standardized to the extent possible with the SB-2C-1. An order of 100 A-25As was added to the Navy contract on December 31, 1940. By the end of 1941, much larger orders for A-25As were being considered, but the Navy felt that all the production capacity of Curtiss-Wright's Columbus OH plant would be required to meet its needs. Consequently, the Army Air Materiel Command directed that CW's St. Louis plant be turned over to A-25A production. By the spring, 3,000 more A-25As were on order. A-25A was to be almost identical to the SB-2C-1, but with larger main wheels and a larger pneumatic tailwheel. The carrier arrestor gear was deleted, but the folding wings were to be retained. In addition, Army radios and additional forward and underside armor plating were fitted. Both Navy and Army models had larger wheel wells to maintain standardization. Armament consisted of 2 500-pound bombs on wing racks and 2 1,000-pound bombs in the internal bomb bay. 4 fixed forward-firing .50-inch machine guns were in the wings, and 1 .50-inch flexible gun was used by the gunner. Alternatively, the underwing bombs could be replaced by a pair of 58-gallon drop tanks. Major subcontractors and suppliers for the Navy production were retained for the A-25A in order to enhance standardization. However, there were problems involved in coordinating engineering and manufacturing between Columbus and St. Louis. Those snags were not eased by the fact that the two plants were divisions of the same company. Enough differences between the A-25A and the SB-2C-1 evolved so that the A-25A got its own model number of S-84 within the Curtiss organization and its own series of drawings. The A-25A made its first flight on